so this is one of the guys from a mastermind group, and in this video you're going to really see what texting progression looks like. Let's start off with his beginner example. So he opens the girl, hey, her name, you have a beautiful name by the way, how's it going? She says, thank you, I like my name too, lol, it's fine, just been home with my parents trying to stay sane. He says, yeah, I feel that, I feel like every day I'm trying to find a new hobby. Picked up my guitar for the first time in a while recently, haha, what have you been doing to stay sane? She's like, knitting mostly. I'm finishing up a sweater tonight that I started when I got home 3 weeks ago. I've also been sewing masks. Oh wow, that's awesome. When you start learning how to knit. Now, the problem is, so far this conversation is extremely boring. It's interview mode. Let's see if it improves. She says, last summer when I moved to New York, I sew a lot, but I couldn't bring my sewing machine, so I picked up knitting. That's awesome. My grandmother showed me the basics of knitting when I was younger. Never ended up finishing anything proper though, haha. So where are you from originally? Again, still interview mode. So what would I say in this situation, which is like, bring my sewing machine, so I picked up knitting, and be like, oh wow, I've always had a thing for girls that can knit me a sweater, right? You want to make it flirty, you want to make it fun, you don't want to just go into interview mode. She's like, Florida, so at least I'm spending this time in nice weather. You? Wow, yeah, Florida sounds nice right now. Are beaches still open to the public? I'm born and raised from New York. Again, this is a question he can easily Google. Like, there's no point, like, oh, is this open? Is this place open? Like, it's just purely waste of text and time. She says, no, the beaches aren't open, but I don't live at the beach. I've been laying out in my backyard, so hopefully I return to the city tan and ready for summer. Oh man, that sounds nice. I've been dying to just go to a park and hang out. I've been sneaking in once here and there, but that's it. Again, so far, it's completely boring. It's interview mode. So what would I say in the situation? Been laying out so hopefully I return to the city tan, ready for the summer. Be like, okay, good. You're gonna get nice and tan for a date, eh? Or something like that. So again, you wanna make it more interesting. She's like, yeah, it's nice to be out of the city with more space and access to the outdoors. Plus my parents are feeding me, isn't too bad. Definitely, haha. My parents keep sending me pictures of food, of all this delicious stuff. Wish going home was an option. Again, like, why would it be an option? Like, why would it not be an option? Basically, it's just kind of like confusing here. It like implies that you have a bad relationship with your parents. And then she stops responding. This is what's gonna happen every single time you're boring over text. Girls will engage with it a little bit, but eventually they'll get bored and they'll move on to a guy who makes the texting more interesting. So he didn't say anything weird or cringy here. The texting was just really boring. It was interview mode. And eventually the girl got bored and moved on to a different guy. Next, let's take a look at a conversation that happened a few months later when he was able to progress to intermediate texting level. So he opens the girl, someone's cute as fuck. She's like, definitely not 5'7" though, I guess referencing his bio. Oof, don't know if this is gonna work then. Do you make up for it in other ways? So right away you can see this is a lot more flirty, it's a lot more fun. She's like, absolutely not, it's not my fault I'm tiny. Do you wanna make up for being tall? Absolutely, I have 3 options for you, are you ready? She's like, yep. Okay, here we go. Option 1, a cute wine date with a gigantic human where you laugh, flirt, and really get to know this giant. Option 2, a really intense pillow fight. Option 3, all of the above. Choose carefully. It's a hard pop quiz. So this is good because it's flirty, it's a lot more fun, but it's kind of corny. That's the issue. This is why it's intermediate, not advanced. It's not really that smooth. She says, haha, is the right answer? Yes, it's all on the line. Which do you choose? She's like, the right answer is option 3, but I can't choose that one until I find out if I like the giant. So I'll start with option 1, see if we can get to 3 at the end. How does that sound? You drive a real hard bargain here, but you got a deal. I have one more request though. If it gets to a pillow fight, you have to let me win. I definitely will throw the fight for the most dramatic ending ever, but if it gets to that point, you'll have to cuddle me so I can recover from this terrible loss. Again, it's good, it's flirty, but it's also kind of corny. She says, haha, I could do that. My ego thanks you. You're free next week for some wine, recovering from being sick this week. Oh, I'm sorry, hope you're good. And yeah, I'm mostly free. Yeah, I'm good, just a bit of a flu that's wrapping up. Cool, drop me your number and we'll set things up over text. And she gives the number, right? And so again, this is much better than the first one because it's more fun, it's more flirty. He moves the conversation forward instead of just bantering forever, but it's kind of corny. It's not smooth as it could be. And finally, let's take a look at his conversations when his text game reached the legendary advanced level. We're gonna show you 2, one that is very short and succinct and one that is long and sexual. Let's start off with the short one. So he opens the girl, I like your cute smile. She says, why did you get up to this weekend? So I think her grammar isn't the best. Went back to my parents and cooked them dinner for the Easter weekend. It turned out to be quite the spread. Now, that was pretty good because she's DHVing himself as like, hey, you know, I do nice things for my family and I'm a good cook, right? 2 DHVs in one. She says, oh my, insert his name, impressive. What dish were you most happy with? The baked lobster tail turned out to be amazing. Close tie with the lamb chops though. And now he's painting a very visual picture in her head, which is also good. Good Lord, insert his name. You're showing off. Just one of those would have impressed me. Like I said, glad it's working. I might have to teach you a recipe or two. Now, what he does really well here is he transitions from having kind of a platonic conversation to something that's much more fun and flirty. He kind of uses the we frame, right? Kind of involves her into the conversation. I have never cooked lobster. He says, then we'll start off with something simple then, but only if you promise to be a good student. So again, he's making things more fun and sexual. And then she doesn't respond, so he waits a period of time, and then he re-engages with, unless you're too shy. She says, oh, shy in the kitchen. I am not. I'm an excellent sous chef. Glad to hear. We'll have to go over your qualifications over a bottle of wine soon. Now he's moving things forward much faster and much more confidently in this interaction. Aha, I love the high standard. Absolutely. What evenings are you free coming up? Sunday evening? Sunday evening should work, say 7 p.m. Could you do a little later? I thought my flight was getting in earlier, but turns out I land at 7. Sure, I could do 8:30. Cool, how does blah, blah, blah sound? Sounds perfect. Hey, still good for tonight? Yes, sir, flight is taking off on time. Great, have a safe flight. Let me know when you're on the way to blah, blah, blah. Running a smidge late. Sorry, it's 8:40. That works, see you there, 2 minutes away. So he gets a date pretty fast. He keeps things nice and flirty, right? And moves things forward, and this is definitely not corny. I want to show you one more example of one of his text conversations when he reached the advanced level. And this one's going to be quite different. It's going to be much more sexual. So part of having a good text game is being able to read the girl, know your audience. And he saw this girl and he says in the later report that she looked like a slut, right? So he read her and thus he adjusted his texting. So he says, you're cute. I could think of a few ways we'd have fun, right? So he's getting pretty into it right away. She says, oh yeah? He says, mm-hmm. You think you can handle it? She's like, I know I can, right? She's being kind of low investment here, right? So he has to really get her to invest in this conversation. We'll find out after I pin you against the wall with a fistful of your hair in my hand while you moan all covered in sweat as I kiss and bite your neck. Now, this is a massive fucking transformation from when his texting was beginner. Wow, I like the way you talk. You like it even more when I spank your ass, pick you up, and toss you on my bed. Kiss up your thighs, make your body quiver with anticipation. Damn, you're dirty. You talk like this to every girl on the app? She says, just you. Now, that's a very good way of passing that shit test, right? You don't want to be like, yeah, you know, I talk to every girl like that. You also don't want to like start backtracking. No, you know, blah, 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 right? He handles that really well. He replies with humor and confidence. That's the exact facial expression you'll have. Spit drooling down the side of your mouth after I face fucked you, properly manhandling you. Now, this is, again, the type of sexting that will turn girls on, but it's only going to work for some girls, right? If a girl's really conservative, you don't want to go this sexual that fast. Don't get me wrong, I love the way you're talking. I'm just so thoroughly surprised because you look so innocent in your pictures, but I love being manhandled. How did you know? So again, reading the girl. I know just what a little cock whore like you likes. Want to add me on Snapchat so we can talk more and send more? It's blah, 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 right? You don't want to fall for the Snapchat, trap, and he doesn't fall for it. He says, I don't have it. Shoot me your number and we can talk more there. Wow, I don't know a single person doesn't lull. And here he waits a little bit and 30 minutes later she gives him a number, right? So this is also a good text game by not falling for this bait and being like, oh my God, well, you know, we can talk on Snapchat, right? Sometimes the right call is literally to do nothing and not respond. So here he has her number, he opens her and says, hey, is blank from the thing. Hey, how's your day? Great, just finished a big workout at the gym. You? Just cleaned up dinner and watching some TV. What are you watching? Downton Abbey, have you seen it? Now again, it's good that he's engaging in some normal conversation so he doesn't come off as just extremely one-dimensional. And here he sends a video of him laying in bed watching something. I've seen the first few episodes I'm in bed doing the same thing. Oh, a red light, sexy, and he's in his underwear. What are you wearing right now? A t-shirt and a thong, prove it. So now he's getting the conversation in a much more sexual direction. So she says, so she sends a photo here and he says, yum, if only you were next to me right now, what would you do? I'd start by flipping you over, spanking your ass so hard it leaves a nice handprint, shove my face into it as I slurp you up and eat your pussy, dripping you from the proper spank I just gave you. And here she says, I love a good spanking, but I bet you already knew that, winky face. Now look how much more she's investing now. Fuck, that made my cock twitch. You be covered in my red handprints after I'm done with you. Reminded of how I took all of you, manhandled you, and how you were devoured. You drip every time you looked at the prints on your body. Now this is also really good sexting. You're making me so wet. I would want you to throw me around. I throw you around easily. You be my little fuck toy doing whatever I want to you. Then you over grab a fistful of your hair, push your face into the wall as I put my heart-throbbing cock in and out of your tight, wet pussy while there's a vibe to your clit. Now this one is kind of weird. While there's a vibe to your clit, while I'm playing with your clit, maybe is what he was trying to say. I want to know what you would say to me while you're fucking me with my face pushed to the wall. I love being verbal. Ask nicely. So this is also good, right? He's not just sexting. He's getting her by on. He's like, ask nicely or say please, right? That kind of stuff is very important because you don't want to get into basically fall into the frame of just like you're the sexting guy and you're just sexting her and she's masturbating and that's it. She has no motivation to meet her. You want to make the girl invest. Please talk dirty, sir. I love it when you do. Good girl. I'd say you're my little fucking slut. You love it when I thrust my cock deep inside your pussy, don't you? And what would you say? I'd say, I love taking your dick, sir. I'm such a fucking whore for you. I'd spank you and as you moan in pleasure, I tell you, arch your back and more. I want to get deeper inside you, start rubbing your clit like the good whore you are. Are you touching yourself right now? Yeah, I am. Hard not to with you talking like that. Show me. I want to see. Hear your moan as you finger your pussy for me, but you're not allowed to come until I say. I do that shit all the time also. I'll be like, you're not allowed to come until I say. And here, I guess, he sends her some kind of photo, and he says, what a good little slut you are for me. I don't have vibrator. No, unfortunately, vibrator. Okay, so he shows a photo of him shirtless with a vibrator and says, that's okay. Imagine me on top of you while I handcuff your hands behind your back. I slowly rub this vibe, I don't know why he calls it vibe, around your labia. It's kind of a unique term, stopping just for a second on your clit as I turn you into a moaning mess. Fuck, you're gonna kill me. I lose control with vibrators. I definitely think I'd come before you let me. And then angel emoji. That's okay, baby. I won't be enough for me until we're hot mess covered in sweat and cum. I like being a brat, just so you know. I never said I'd let you come easily. There'd be a hand wrapped around your throat way before that happened. Good. Do you like inflicting pain? Now look, when you make a girl invest this much and there's this much sexting, trust me, the day is going to be super duper easy. Yes, but only to a certain extent. What else do you like? I like being praised and I like being degraded. Those two things are completely contradictory. Good, I had a feeling. I just know how to handle you then. I thought you might. Why don't you come see me then? Now good, he's finally moving things forward. I'm heading to Miami this weekend, but I'll be back in town next week. Perfect. I prefer to be a bit spontaneous, so let's plan something for when you're back. And then he waits a little period of time, says, hey you, how was Miami? Hey, Miami was great. Glad to hear it. We should celebrate your return soon. That was good. I use this all the time. We should celebrate, blah, blah. She says, absolutely. I'll be in Hoboken again this weekend. I decided to stay with my parents for a bit longer, actually. Sounds good. I'm heading to Barbados for this week with my family on Sunday. I could do Saturday if you'll be around. She says, okay. Kind of a low investment type of, answer, but still works. He says, great, let's do my place on Saturday at 7 then. Sounds good, question mark. She says, let's go out for drinks first. Now, this is interesting. Typically, when you sext a girl this much, they're going to be down to come straight to your place, unless, of course, it's a safety concern. So here he says, stranger danger, which is a good text. Just better for meeting someone you've never met before, LMAO, which essentially means safety. Haha, I understand. Let's go to my favorite spot on Saturday. It's called blah, blah, blah. And here he sends, I guess, a photo of the place. They have a nice little wine bar that I go to all the time with my roommate. She says, okay, sounds good. He says, see you at 7 tonight. Yeah. Hi, actually, I don't think I can tonight. I'm sorry, something came up. And here he does something really well. He just doesn't respond, right? He doesn't chase her. He just completely ignores her. And look what happens. Literally the next day, she says, are you free today? He says, I'm free this afternoon. Me too. Great, let's grab a drink around 3. Oh, could we do like 6 or 7? So here's just logistics. And look what happens here. So she invites him to her place, right? And so he's like, you're inviting me to your place? She's like, yeah, sounds good, right? A white. and bam, you can see that Lester's logistics, and he comes over and they smash, right? So you can see how she went from like, hey, we should meet in public, and then he didn't chase, to her saying, hey, come to my place, right? So again, being patient, right, and having good text game can actually do absolute wonders. And you saw it here, he did a fantastic job building sexual tension, sexting the girl, getting her really horny, and ultimately getting the date and passing her shit test.